Hello and welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I am StevieB, happy to have you all with us today. We are here on Next Island, just outside Crystal Peak Teleporter. Before we get started with today's video, I want to address something that was brought to my attention yesterday. It is a massive pet peeve of mine, and that's why I want to get it out of the way right off the bat. First of all, you guys know that the sips, the smacks, the stuttering, I tend to do that on purpose. Not necessarily 100% of the time, but very, very often. However, it was brought to my attention that I say the word a lot. I went back and watched some of my recent videos, and that was very, very apparent to me that that is very, very accurate. And this is a huge pet peeve of mine. As somebody who has spent a lifetime in business and negotiations and sales, and reaches the level of pretty much master in negotiating tactics and sales tactics, the word is absolutely despised. So please understand that there is a massive, massive difference between me giving something my entire focus, dedication, and undivided attention, and something like making these YouTube videos. When I'm making these YouTube videos, I'm doing it because Entropia Universe is a hobby of mine. It's a hobby that I love. It's a hobby where I would love to see the community grow. It is a hobby where I would love to see the game grow. However, these videos are not meant to be super, super high quality productions that require hours of editing and 19 scripts and script revisions. In fact, I don't even use scripts. I shoot from the hip. And the reason I shoot from the hip is because the topics that I need to discuss or want to discuss, the information that I want to put out there to help you guys the most, it's something that if I tried to write a script and sit down and read it word for word, it would probably sound really, really bad. It would take hours of my time, which is simply not worth it for me to do, and it just would not feel natural. Versus if I can just sit down and put on a headset and start having a conversation, even if you guys can't actively have the conversation back with me in real time, it is a much more natural feel, a much more natural flow, and I'm able to convey a lot more information, sometimes much more information than I would even like to convey. Sometimes I give away secrets I have no intention of giving away. Now, the trade-off for that is a couple of things. A, I'm going to say the word a lot, especially when I am extremely, extremely stressed out. I watched a video I shot yesterday. You guys can go back and watch it, and I say it all the time. It's I would never do that on a sales call. If I did that on a sales call, I would be absolutely appalled. If I did that in a negotiation, I would be absolutely appalled. I would just quit the profession altogether right then and there. I got a call the other day from somebody in sales, and it started off with, hi, I'm trying to sell you. I was like, bro, stop, hang up, call back, and let's try this again. Calm your nerves. Tends to do one of a couple things. It either shows that you're not paying attention to what you're doing, it shows that you may not be confident in what you're doing, or it can show an extremely high stress situation. It can show a couple other things too, but those are the biggest ones. As I watched the video the other day, I realized that when I thought about what I was doing as I was shooting that video, you guys saw what was going on screen, in game. What you cannot see was the text messages I was dealing with in real life, and the situations that I was dealing with in real life, and the stress levels that that was causing me. So while I was shooting that video, I was pretty much on the verge of a stroke or a heart attack the entire time because of some of the stuff that I was having to deal with in real life. That came through in the video in the form of I watched some of my other videos, and I could actually tell based off which videos I was watching. I remembered what I was doing at those exact moments. Some of them I was just absent-mindedly doing 5 or 6 things while recording. Some of them were me recording while dealing with high stress situations in real life. And some of them I was just extremely, extremely tired because I tend to shoot these after work after a very, very long day. So that said, if I say excessively in the videos, please forgive me, as it is a huge, huge pet peeve of mine. The stuttering, the spitting, all that stuff, I do that more or less intentionally. Sometimes not so much, but most of the time it is. But when it comes to that is a massive, massive pet peeve of mine, simply because I have trained myself for years not to use that particular word. I've trained myself for years to speak in a very distinct manner, in a very distinct way, with a very distinct vocabulary, and to also have certain phrases and words that are not part of my vocabulary. However, whenever I'm making these videos, I'm not in master negotiator mode. I'm not in master sales mode. I am in relaxed, chilled back in my undies, feet kicked up, trying to have a good time, enjoy my hobby, turn my brain off mode. So I'm going to say a lot of things. You're going to see a lot of mannerisms come through in my videos that you would never see in my career or in my work life. And I apologize for that because I know how annoying the word can be. I know how annoying some of those mannerisms can be. And I don't necessarily want that to take away from the videos or the information you guys get. But I want you to understand why I'm doing it. I also want you guys to understand, when I make these videos, again, this is a hobby. This is something I enjoy doing, I love doing, and I love sharing the information with you guys and helping to grow the community and grow the game. However, with the type of community, with the amount of daily users that we have in Entropia, this is never going to be a full-time business for me. This is never going to be a quote-unquote money maker for me. Yes, it does make me money, don't get me wrong. I started this game specifically because I needed a hobby that would make me some amount of money to try and halfway compensate me for my time. But if I was going to start an actual business, there are businesses that can make me $23,500 a sell, and it costs me an average of $2,375 to make each sell. Now those are long-term averages. I might have to spend $30,000 in marketing to get my first sell. Or I might have to spend $1,000 in marketing, and my first sell might only net me $5,000. It might net me $40,000. But long term, those are my numbers. So I have many opportunities that are more financially lucrative than Entropia that would justify a time dedication greater than Entropia. These videos are not something where I write 19 scripts and go through revision after revision after revision and then sit down, shoot it, and do 5 hours of post-production. I literally turn on the game, I turn on the recording software, I start shooting, I shoot from the hip, I talk about what I want to talk about that day, and then we're done. If I like the playback, I upload it. If I don't like the playback, I just delete it. Sometimes I reshoot it. Sometimes I just never go back to that subject ever again. That's because we just don't have enough daily active users to make it worth that kind of investment in time and dedication. If this was a game like Fortnite, where I could have 150 million subs on YouTube, then it would be worthy of a production quality similar to that of the Ben Shapiro show. However, with the amount of money that we are able to generate, with the amount of income we're able to generate, based off the daily active users this game has, it's just not worth that kind of time dedication. I'm already dedicating 20-30 minutes per video just to turn it on and shoot. What do these videos make? They maybe make me $100 every 3 or 4 months, maybe, because the viewers are just not there. When you're dealing with YouTube videos, it's all about how many views can you get. If each video was getting 6 million views, I could have an entire production studio. I could hire people to do post-production for me. At that point, maybe it would be worth using a script. However, given the profit potential, the income potential, it's just not worth it. These videos are by far more for you guys to help you learn how to play smarter, not harder. They're by far more about helping grow the community in the game than they are about the money or income that they generate, by leaps and bounds. So that said, I know the production quality is going to kind of suck. I know there's no post-production. I know I don't use a script, and if I did, I wouldn't be shooting from the hip, but you also would not get a lot of the information I give you, because a lot of times I just give away information I did not intend to give away when I started the video. And on top of that, it just wouldn't feel natural. Whenever I shoot these videos, like I said, it's part of the therapy of the hobby for me, so it's like I'm having a dialogue with you guys. Even though you guys can't talk back to me in real time, it's like we're just sitting here having a discussion, drinking our favorite soda, two homies, right? So that's kind of how I view it. So that said, if I make some slips and these do not seem like the most professional videos, keep in mind why I'm doing it in the mindset that I'm in. This is my relaxing time. This is the time of day when I'm unwinding, and I'm just wanting to have a conversation with my friends and give you guys some good information that's going to help you, hopefully help the community, hopefully help to grow the game. So yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to stutter when I don't mean to stutter. I'm going to have those lapses in memory where I forget the word that I was looking for, or I have to stop to look something up, just because that's where this fits into my life. At some point it may fit into my life in a different spot, but right now that is where these videos and this game fit into my life. And I understand there's a lot of people that take the game way more seriously than that. There's a lot of people who take the game way less seriously than that. Also keep in mind, you guys could not possibly begin to understand some of the things I'm having to deal with in real life right now, nor the stress level they convey. If I was to actually tell you, you absolutely would not believe me. You would say, that is absolutely insane. That sounds like a movie script. Yes, it does. And it's only going to get worse before it gets better. However, better is on the horizon. So if you guys really want to help me, one of the best things you can do is just pray for me. Especially over the next couple of weeks, just pray around the clock for me. It would be greatly appreciated. So after this is all said and done, will I tell you guys what I've been going through for the past 6 to 12 months? Yeah, but not till it's said and done. Because once it's said and done, you guys will see how miraculous it really is. So that said, let's move on to the actual video. Yes, I did that one on purpose. So this is one of the videos for the Community Recognition Program, probably for June. And today it's a video not necessarily about playing smarter rather than harder or about something super profitable in game, but something fun. So if you'll notice, I've got this mission active here, monkeying around, kill Yellow Papoo worth 250 points. Notice I'm only 6 kills away. The monkeying around mission can be found from the mission broker, the Cartographer, who is located close to Crystal Peak Teleporter, longitude 136743, latitude 83662, here on Next Island. And keep in mind that when doing this mission, young and mature Papoo count for 0 points, old provider 1 point, guardian equals 2 points. Now the reward for this is interesting. It's something I want to show you guys here in a minute. But first, let's get to where it actually is. So if you see my radar, whenever you activate this mission, it actually shows you where you need to go. So we're going to pop out the quad real quick. And we're just going to hop over. Now this mission is like some of the other missions I've been talking about the past couple of days. It tends to stack really well. So if you were doing, let's say, the simian problem that I did for the agility point, you could definitely stack this every day. See, just did it again. Along with the simian problem in order to get your 250 kills that you need for that as well. Because with the simian problem, you have to kill 250 yellow papoos, red papoos, gray papoos, etc. So notice that these yellow papoos are not too terribly far from Crystal Peak. They're right down the road. I could have ran here. And they're very low level. They have very, very little HP. They're very, very easy to kill. And we're already almost done. And you notice there's a ton of them here. So it's not like you're going to run out of papoos. Which is one of the things I do like about the papoos. Even when you have to do the spawn, you're really not going to run out of papoos. So if you'll notice, I just got Papoo Guardian Mob Pill. And that is the reward for this daily mission. So I want to take a minute for us to look at it, for us to talk about what it is, because I think this is a really cool aspect of the game. We tend to focus so much on the making money and the profitability part of the game as if this was our career, as if this was our real life business and this was the only thing we did to generate money and income, that sometimes I think we forget to have fun with the game. And to be quite honest, as I said, this is a hobby for me, just happens to be a hobby that makes income as a side hustle. When this game is no longer fun, it will most likely be my last day in EU. So if we go to our loot, we can see that as a reward, we got a Papoo Guardian Mob Pill worth 2 ped. Become a Yellow Papoo Guardian for 15 minutes. So if we view, we can see that the required level is Animal Investigator 0/0. I'm 4.5, so I can use this pill. User Controlled Mob, Yellow Papoo Guardian, duration 15 minutes. Now, here's what's interesting. This is an aspect of the game I think most players have probably never looked into. It's something in the 4 years that I've been in Entropia I've never done. But there are pills called Creature Control Capsules, just like this one. Usually you cannot get them from daily missions. There are a few rare exceptions where you can loot them. Specifically on Tulun, I'm thinking of some. And I know you can get this one from this mission here, but most of the time they have to be either from like an event or something extremely, extremely special. But they will let you actually control a mob. So you literally turn into the mob, and to you, the game more or less looks the same from what I'm told. I haven't actually done it yet. But you are a mob, and you're running around, and your goal is to kill other people. And you don't have to be in a PvP area. You can kill them anywhere. And the turrets will not work on you. So you can turn into a mob and run around Twin Peaks, or Camp Icarus, or Boreas. You can run around Ashy Rig. And you can try and kill other players. Now, the downside is that other players can kill you. However, it is an interesting aspect of the game, a fun aspect of the game, that I really should have tried out by now. And I think once I try it out, it's something I'll want to do more often just to have fun with it. And I think it's something that probably 99% of players in-game have just never done. And the weird thing is, I've got all kinds of Creature Control Capsules. I've got Count Vamp ones, I've got Big Pumpkin ones, I've got Robot ones, I've got all kinds of these sitting in my storage. I've just never used them. Most of the Creature Control Capsules in-game will actually allow you to purchase additional time as the mob. So let's assume that I was able to do this for 15 minutes. I'm able to go out and kill players, and I want to do it for longer than 15 minutes. Most Creature Control Capsules will allow you to spend a couple of extra ped off your ped card to extend the duration of the Creature Control Capsule. So maybe from 15 minutes, I want to buy an extra 5 to round it off to nice even 20. I would be given that option under most circumstances. And what I love about this is if Creature Control ends up being something that I really, really like, I don't necessarily have to go hunt these pills down and pay a lot of markup for them. I can just come do this mission every single day and just wipe out 250 Yellow Papoo pretty easily because they're very low level, low HP, and I can get one of these things for free. Now, if we look, they are tradable. On auction, they tend to go for about 125 to 130%. And if you notice, they're 2 pet each TT value, so 2 have sold this month. About 75 have sold this year. It looks like 77, actually, 78 have sold this year. And about 415 have sold in the past decade. So they don't have the highest demand ever, but there are a lot of times people will actually buy these. You might have friends that want them. You might be able to find somebody in private chat that wants them. So not only will you get to kill 250 Yellow Papoo, but you might actually be able to get a little bit of markup out of the thing that you're getting, out of that daily reward, that Papoo pill. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to these Yellow Papoo is, as I was killing them for the simian problem, I noticed something. They drop a kind of interesting loot mix. So one of the things that I noticed dropped a lot is Cat's Eye Crystal. Cat's Eye Crystal has pretty good demand and seems to have okie dokie markup. They drop Azurite Crystal every now and then. Not so much with the great markup, but fairly decent demand. And they do drop Papoo Heart. Now, Papoo Heart does have pretty good demand, pretty good markup from what I've seen. However, it's got very, very low TT value, so you have to store it for a while. And they also drop Hematite Crystal. Hematite Crystal seems to be fairly useful and have some significant markup and demand as well. There's some other stuff in there like Chlorite, Trisobal, or however you pronounce that, Papoo Tail Palm, Animal Muscle Oil and Oil Residue, Papoo Tooth, some of the other stuff that may just be TT food or not really super, super useful. But they do seem to drop some fairly useful, fairly good markup loot. So I'm going to shoot a couple more while we're shooting the video. But this is one of those missions that, A, it stacks well with several other missions that may be, in fact, there's Cat's Eye right there. It stacks very well with some of the other missions that may be a little bit more of our traditional, we want to play smarter, not harder, we're going for profitability here. But it also is a mission that allows you at a lower level to hunt a mob that might give you an opportunity for markup you would not otherwise have. So let's look at Cat's Eye Crystal specifically. 4 PEC TT value per item. Market value, 110 to 113%. But look at the demand. 20 ped today, 56 ped this week, 323 ped this month. Now keep in mind, the TT value of one Cat's Eye Crystal is just 0.04 ped. So that seems to be quite a bit of demand for the day, week, month, and even year. It has jumped greatly for Decade because this is something that a couple years ago, when a lot of these crystals had no real use, it was one of those kind of useless crystals that was in the loot. However, now that Next Island and the development team has done such a good job making a lot of these things have in-game uses, it's something that now actually has demand and has markup. If we look at Azurite Crystal, which these also drop, we notice that the markup is a lot lower, 103, 104%, but there is pretty good demand, 90 ped for the week, 184 ped for the month, and again, if we look at year-end Decade, we see that this year, 1.1 thousand ped of Azurite has sold versus only 2,000 ped for the entire Decade. Well, what's the deal here? Well, the deal is this was another of the crystals that you were just getting the loot all the time that had no real use, and now with the development team going in, trying to fix that specific issue and make these crystals have demand, have markup, have uses in game, this is now something that previously was TT food that now has a pretty good demand and a little bit of markup. So is it the greatest markup ever? No, but it's good enough. It's one of those that I don't mind stacking it for several days, if not weeks at a time, before I go to sell it to capture an extra 2 to 3%. Now, I prefer to see much bigger supply markups than that, or I should say demand markups than that. I prefer to see 110, 115, 120 bare minimum, but if it's something where I can stack it fairly easily, I might reconsider. And if it's a mission that I'm going to be doing quite often, it's one of those things I will often consider stacking something with lower markup than if it's a mission I'm only going to be doing one time. So that said, I just think it's kind of a cool mission. I think it's something that most players don't know about or don't do just because they're not necessarily interested in Creature Control Capsules. But I think it's something that if more of us would try Creature Control, we might love it. In fact, if we look at the Hall of Fame, if we go over, there's Kill Spree. So Disabled has killed 16 players. Vandal Hand has killed 13 players. Disabled has killed 11. So Vandal Hand and Disabled are currently doing some PvPing. New items, reached item tiers, rare items, kills as creature. No Hall of Fame records exist for this category in the last 24 hours. So I could eat a Creature Control Capsule, go kill one player, and if I could kill even one player, then I would get a Hall of Fame at the moment for this, because there's none for the last 24 hours. So if you're wanting to get your name just in the Hall of Fame, if that's all you're looking for, then Creature Control is a great way to do it on a lot of days, because a lot of times there just isn't any Hall of Fame records for Creature Control for that particular day. It's a very underutilized aspect of the game. It's a part of the game that is not necessarily underdeveloped. I think it's just something that people don't pay a lot of attention to, and like I said, a lot of people have never even tried. My 4th Entropia birthday is coming up, and I've never done Creature Control. And like I said, this isn't the only Creature Control capsule I have. I've got quite a few back on Calypso just sitting in my storage. They've been sitting there for a very, very long time. This one is probably for a little bit lower level mob. It would not be hard for most players to take down a Papoo Guardian, so it would be very, very difficult for me to kill a player. Something I'm actually considering that I will probably do in another video when I'm here on Next Island. I am heading back to Cali. I've got several videos to shoot there, and I've got some business to attend to there before I come back. But one of the things I'm considering doing is I might actually have a little mini event where I get some people together at Crystal Peak by the Sweat Circle, and I take the Creature Control Capsule, turn into the Papoo. That way you guys can see, and I can see from first-hand experience, what Creature Control is like from this side of it. See how it changes the way the screen looks and the way I'm able to interact with the environment and stuff, and might make a video doing that, but with the caveat that anybody who's going to be at that Sweat Circle helping me participate making that video just is not allowed to shoot me, is not allowed to kill me. I'm doing it for a reason. Let me take the Creature Control, let me get the Hoff for the day and get my name on the Hoff board, and let's just see how Creature Control works from the other side, so we can see if this is something we really want to explore a whole lot, or if it's something that's just kind of one of those, kind of cool aspects of the game, but maybe not something we're going to go that far into. So I might have an event where we literally just have a set of people standing around in a Sweat Circle letting me kill them as a monkey for about 15 minutes. Should be straight comedy if nothing else. So plan on that coming down the pipe in the fairly near future. I'm not sure what order I'm going to be uploading these videos in, especially the ones here on Next Island. It's not necessarily important. Just keep in mind that sometimes there will be things that I mention in a video that will not make sense till you see another video. Sometimes there's things I mention in a video where I'm trying to figure out in a video as I'm talking that I'm not able to figure out until a later date, and I mention it in a later video. And again, above all, I want to be sure these videos help the community. I would be here making these videos even without Ascension Armor because I want you guys to have fun. I have fun. It's my hobby. It's not a business for me. It's a hobby first and foremost. If this game is not fun, I must quit. This game only came into my life because my career had me so stressed out and was working me at such a high rate that I was going to have a stroke if I didn't come up with a way to unwind very quickly. So 4 years ago, that's how I first got into Entropia, just as a way to relax. But I do make the videos to help you guys learn to play smarter, not harder, to find good opportunities to earn, to find ways to earn that maybe other players are passing up. So I do want to convey as much good information as I can, but please keep in mind that when I'm shooting these videos, I might be doing 15 other things. I might be texting somebody I care about and dealing with a high-stress situation. I might be trying to solve a problem for a family member. I might have my dog trying to jump all over me. So is it going to be the highest production quality value that's out there? Absolutely not. Are these going to be YouTube videos that I ever expect to get, 5 million views? Absolutely not. Is this going to be something where I go down and set up an S Corp just for the YouTube video income? No, unfortunately, it's not, because at the end of the day, the community just has not grown. But I'm hoping that through contributions like mine through these videos, through EarnPed, through the stuff I do in game, from the contributions of other players who are out there actively trying to make the game and community everything that it can be and then some, I'm hoping that this game does blow up. It is possible. People all the time are telling me that this game is dead or dying, and I've been hearing the naysayers ever since I very first started playing Entropia. It's not for everybody, but I think there are a lot of people out there that if they sat down and played it, even if they've never played a PC game before, even if they've never played an MMO before, I think they would absolutely fall in love with Entropia. And I think right now we have a big problem of the company that owns the game not actively marketing it like they used to. Back in the day, they were always developing new content like Club Never Die, which is now FOMA, and there was always a press release going out about the new biggest world record for most expensive virtual item ever sold. And we had the rock star Never Die, who was pretty much the face of Entropia for a long time. And it just seems that a lot of the marketing and advertising of the game has just not happened since before I started playing. And I think Mindark is very happy with its loyal customer base and the amount of growth that it does have. But I think that this game does have the potential to go from 10,000 daily active users to 100,000 or even 1 million. I think that's very possible. However, at the moment, the numbers just are not there to demand, like I said, a script with 19 revisions, me making videos where I'm not just shooting from the hip, videos with a whole production team. It's the trade-off from time and investment of resources and time and dedication versus what I would be getting out of it just isn't there. Like I said, first and foremost, this is to help you guys, to help grow the community. It's not necessarily meant to generate me $9 million worth of income every other day. If I wanted to do that, I've got way better ways I can do that than sitting here making YouTube videos or making YouTube videos about this game. I could very easily go do speedruns. I could very easily go make YouTube videos about very hard to find information subjects, very rare information that would be very hard to track down on Google that I'm an expert at. There's all kinds of different niches and categories that I could make high quality, high production YouTube videos and make channels dedicated to them, make websites dedicated to them, and make sales out the wazoo. If I want to do that, I'll just start a business. This isn't a business for me. Like I said, this is a hobby to help me relax. And the day Entropia is fun, that is no longer fun. That is the day the game is truly dead. When this game is not fun, when you can't log in and have a good time hunting, mining, crafting, talking to your friends, talking to your society mates, doing VSC repair skilling, when that happens, when the game stops being fun, that is when the game is dead to me. That will be my last day in Entropia. So I'm going to leave it right there for today. I hope I've said enough times to embarrass myself, because that is my biggest freaking pet peeve. So again, if you hear me say it repetitively, start counting the ums, because the more ums you hear, the more stressed out I likely am that day, or the more absent-minded, one of the two. I'm going to leave it right there for now. If you guys want to help support us, hit that bell icon and hit that like button, because there's always a hater out there hitting that dislike button. And when I see trolls, when I see people trying to scam people or tell other people what they should do with their ped card in-game, I'm going to call them out. I'm just going to. I'm going to make enemies by doing so, but I'm going to be giving you guys information that might save you from being a victim to such a troll. So those trolls are going to be sitting there waiting for me to upload videos, waiting to hit that dislike button as soon as I do. So I'm really counting on all the Stevies out there to hit that like button. Also, if you want to help support us, head over to earnped.com, because when you earn, we earn, and that's one of the best ways you can help support us. I'm very aware we're not the only place in Entropia where you can earn ped from doing offer walls. I'm very aware of that. I'm very aware we're not the only place in Entropia where you can earn ped from watching videos and then redeeming points. We weren't even the first. The whole reason I made earn ped was because I was using a similar service, and it seemed like it took me 3.5 months to make my withdrawal once I was past the blackout date, just because they were never online, and if they were never on the planet I was on. And I wanted to build a better mousetrap to help people not have to deal with that. We might not even be the place that you earn ped that pays the highest rate or has the best rewards, but earn ped at its core is a way you guys can help support us while helping to support yourself in game. And every Stevie out there who chooses to help support us through earn ped, that means more to me than I can possibly tell you. So guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. Sip sip, smack smack, that's about it, and I'll be back next week. Take care, guys.